I've opened up the PNG that was generated inside of Maya, and now we're going to make the texture map for our planet and for our debris field. I'm going to lock the transparency of this UV map layer, and I'm going to add a new blank layer. I'm going to set it for a default black, and I'm going to put it below the UV map layer. Now I can see pretty easily where I need to add my textures. So I'm going to start to build some layers and put a series of rings, horizontal rings that will run across the UV map on the bottom where it reflects the texture that will wrap around the sphere. So I'm going to go in here now and I'm going to add a series of rings using my marquee tool, and then I'm going to come back and we'll see what we have and what progress we have made. Alright, so I've taken a little bit of time to create this pattern with a series of stripes using my paintbrush, and then the last thing I did was I used the liquefy filter to give this a little bit more of an organic quality. Now we'll create the texture that will cover our elements that comprise the debris field. So here's the UV map for that up here. And once again, I'll start with blank layer. Now with my marquee tool, I'm going to use the ellipse tool this time. And I'm going to start sampling some of the colors that I have chosen for the bands or stripes that we've created for the actual spherical shape that comprises the planet. So I'll start with perhaps the orange, and I'll fill that. And I'm going to use the marquee tool and transform it. I'll hold down my Shift and Option so I can constrain this from the center in. And I'm going to just randomly start to make some other spherical donut shapes using the selection tool and the color. Now I'm going to use a feather on this so it's a little bit softer. I'd like this to have that organic quality that I've accomplished with the stripes on this. So I've also set my brush for dissolve. I'll go in and start to fill this. And once again, I'll return to my marquee, choose transform selection, and I'll constrain it a little bit more. This is really subjective. Once again, I'll make sure that the feather is on that. And I'll grab another color. Maybe I'll just fill the whole thing. Once again, returning to transform that marquee. Feather it. And I'll end with white. And I'm going to save that. And now I'm going to copy and drag it over to the other piece. So I'll just simply hold down my Command key, click on the thumbnail icon in the layer, hit V on the keyboard, hold down the Option key and drag a duplicate copy over to the other side. Now, I'm looking like I'm going to have a little bit of a conflict right here that I'm not too crazy about, so what I'm going to do is copy that to its own layer rather than maintain them both on one. So at this point I'll hit Command J, and now I'll get my Move tool and I'll drag that over like so, perhaps. I'll throw a layer mask on there. I'll get my brush. And I'll just get rid of this harsh edge that I know is going to cause conflict in my model. I'll hit Command S to save, and I'll put this into my project window. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to turn off the actual UV map so it doesn't show up on the model when we introduce that. So the next step will be to link this to our model inside of Maya.